Okay. Good.
Is this the password to get into the laptop? Into here?
Right.
Okay.
Good.
Phase 3.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Is
call
it
the meeting to order.
This is
Roll call.
Okay. Trevor Bundy.
Here.
Chaz Foster.
They had
Here.
to change.
Riley Amundsen. Not here. Colby Jensen.
Here.
Julia Lyon.
Here.
Joel Holscher.
Here.
Diane Neschheim.
Okay. Public time.
That goes to Sophie.
Well, we'll
Whoever wants to-
Oh, me
yeah,
first?
we'll start with you, Stefan.
All right, I don't know how to start it, but I'm here to dispute my water bill for my rental place. But anyways, my first thing is, I don't feel like I owe that money because the worker allowed it to keep being behind for however many months. With, nobody ever notified me that he was behind or anything. When it should have been shut off. And then there was a time where the pipes need to be fixed over there. And they came over and turned the water off, but then turned it back on when it should have just stayed off at that time, in my opinion. And then the whole 7 or 8 months that was being charged when it should have been shut off, there was no water or sewer or anything being used there because the pipes are broke. So it was shut off, just not by the city. So there's that. And then I don't know, I'm always on time. I've lived here for, my whole life, but 20 years as an adult, and I'm always on time. I never am late. I always pay. So
What was it? 9 something 9?
It was it was a couple.
and then I wouldn't even known if he wouldn't have went to jail and happened to check his mail to see what his water would, it would have just kept racking up. I would have never even known. So in my opinion, there's been no water used, no sewer used, no harm, no foul, whatever. The lady should have had it shut off or whatever. So I feel like you guys should just keep his deposit and get rid of the bill.
He did
He
pay.
did pay, yeah.
So you
It's-
did pay the bill
He
off.
paid off the.
Have it turned back on because now there's somebody else living there. And
Yeah, no, and I kind of told you that, or to tell that, Seth to tell you that if you at least paid the bill, come back to us and at least dispute a paying a partial payment back.
at least I have unless everybody agreed I shouldn't pay at all because I don't know. I'm already covering $11,500 worth of bills because he never paid me while I was living there. Didn't pay his gas bill. Didn't pay nothing while he was there. Who knew he was doing that? And that's why I went out that one time when Jarrett was there to see what was going on. He's like, "Oh, you had broken water pipes. You had to come turn it off and then come turn it back on." So I thought he had been up to date and been paying. And otherwise, why would they come and turn it off and turn it back on if he was already 4 or 5 or so months behind? Because I know I've never been able to just leave mine without paying it, or otherwise I'm shut off. So I don't know what. And then another thing about it all is it was saying I was using 1,700 gallons a month, but that bill was saying $2,000 a month. How is that even possible when the water's off? Where were they coming up with the $2,000 or 2,000 gallons of water being used with it being turned off?
How far does this go back?
Well, November is when the pipes broke and he turned it off underneath the trailer. So,
Oh, okay.
and then he went to jail in May. I think I might have finally looked in his mailbox in June and was like, holy shit, when I seen the bill. So then I contacted here and was like, I don't even see how there's a bill this high, and turn it off and all that. So I had no idea it had been sitting there racking up. I figured it would be like everybody else where it just gets turned off after you're 10 or so days late.
Well, and like I told Seth to tell you, we needed that account closed before we moved, so that's why I told him to tell you to, if you pay it off, come back to council. I'll make a recommendation that we get a partial reimbursement back to you on it, and you did your part on that, so.
And now it's being paid again, Now I know the people, well, I knew that person too, but now it's being paid. I'd like to be notified if they don't pay. I mean, it's in my name right now, but I'd like to switch it into theirs and have them pay their own deposit, and then you guys keep his deposit. So I just feel like that's fair in my opinion. That I get my money back and you guys keep his deposit, you'll get a new deposit, and because no water was used, no sewer was used. The lady that used to work here should have said something to somebody or shut it off or sent a notice to me or 'Cause, yeah, I thought it was being paid.
Are you gonna have going forward now? Are you gonna the renter's gonna take over the water? Or are you gonna be on the water?
Well, I'd rather have them pay a deposit, but I mean, I can do it the other way too, leave it in my name. All the people that have lived there, I've always, I guess the electrical bill and stuff has always been in my name, and so I'd rather have it all in their names, but
Yeah.
at least get a notice if it's not being paid, so,
I don't know.
or else
Can
leave it in my
do
name.
that?
I don't care either way, just make sure it's getting paid, but
Currently, we don't, if a renter's not paying their bills, we don't
I don't think
call
that
the
we can.
property owner. and
I don't think we can do that, can you? If they're it's under somebody else's name, you can send a notification that's behind.
Yeah, you can, because under your ordinances, the ultimate responsibility is with the owner of the property, not the tenant.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's an unpaid water bill and the tenant leaves, it's the owner's responsibility to pay the unpaid water bill. Because they own it. It's their responsibility to keep up with their tenants and whether they're paying it or not.
but shouldn't it be up to the worker here to shut it off?
That's up to the city. They can shut it off if they're in delinquency. It's not a requirement. But I'm not arguing with you that it
No.
should or should not have in this, I don't know, this situation, but it's not an automatic. It's that one in the ordinances, I think, is a may. You may disconnect the utility.
Like I was saying, so I can just let my bill rack up and run the risk that hopefully you guys will just let me keep not paying.
Yeah.
No,
No.
I'm not saying that, I'm saying it should have been notified to you,
No.
but it doesn't have to be, it's under the ordinances.
We can put a keynote in that.
Well, that's why when Jarrett was there and I seen him out there, that's why I went out there, to see what was going on. I said that, yeah, his pipes burst, we're just turning it back on because he wanted it off.
Yeah.
So I guess I didn't have to be notified, but
You know. Okay. You guys have any other questions? For Stefan?
No.
Okay. We'll talk about it more tonight then, and then either I or Seth will discuss it more and let you know what the council's decision on it. So.
alrighty.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, Stefan.
Thank you.
Yep. You too.